So good morning, Miss Jill.
Good morning, Sherra. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous. Thank you so much for your time today. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Sherra. I'm a breast cancer survivor, and I'm just kind of stepping out to, I guess my big question was, I can't be alone. I can't be alone in this journey of treatments and um, borderline depression, anxiety, all the emotions that come with it. I think that the more that I talk to other survivors, I'm finding that I'm not alone. And I think some of us are just left with what's next. I think the
Right.
medical industry is just like, all right, you're done with treatment. Have a good life. And we're kind of like, well, what's next? What do we do? And that's where I found myself. I was just struggling, trying to what do I do? I feel like crap. How do I get better? How do I get back to my life? And that's definitely another story for another time, because it's not about me today. It's about you. And Jill is my cousin, and she was diagnosed in 2002, I believe you said?
March 5th, 2002. Yes.
So take me through, did you do a self-exam? Did you get a mammogram? How did that happen for you?
I actually did a self-exam and found a very, very tiny little pea-size lump right on the areola around the nipple. And I immediately went into my boss, who I was working for, one of the top reconstructive surgeons, ironically, in the country, and said to him, "What is this?" And he said, "Well, let's get a biopsy of it and we'll check it out." Well, I had a previous history with my family, having a sister with breast cancer, a brother with cancer, a mother and a father. So I thought that I would probably not get it, that my sister was going to take the hit for it for me. And so I was very surprised and devastated, as most breast cancer survivors are when they're first told that they have breast cancer. So yeah, it was just a shock to me, because I had been such a strict vegetarian for so many years and thought I had done everything that I needed to do to keep myself healthy. But sometimes if you've got the gene in your family, there's no getting around it. So it took a few months for it to sink in that I was a cancer person myself.
Did you feel overwhelmed?
Pardon me?
You feel overwhelmed?
Oh, I felt so overwhelmed. I just couldn't even hardly think. And that's where it all began, is that they, in the medical profession, they think for you and, take you by the hand, but tell you this is what you're going to do, and you can't think for yourself. So it was a whirlwind. It was very quick. I was sent, I think I had a better edge having my boss be the main reconstructive surgeon, who knew the surgeon that would be removing the breast and knew the oncologist. And they just kind of boom, 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 took me through, this is what you got to do. And he was fine to work with. The surgeon that took the breast off was another story. I had implants previously from when I was in my 30s, and when I was diagnosed with ductal carcinoma, I was 48. So this came as a surprise to me that they couldn't just take the implant out, take the tumor, the little pea-sized cancer off, and just sew it back on and be done with it.
Right.
So,
right. And that wasn't an option for you, just to have a lumpectomy?
No, she said because it was ductal carcinoma that the whole breast had to be removed. And I tried to tell her what I thought how about doing this? And boy, did I get told that was a wrong thing to say. That any doctor that I went to was going to tell me the same thing, that I had to have a mastectomy. So.
Did you get a second opinion?
No, I didn't. And I probably should have, gone and gotten a second opinion. Now, maybe they would have told me the same thing that she said, that no doubt that I was going to have to get a mastectomy, but I should have listened to my inner self and gone and done that. Like many others, they just listened to what they were told and just do it,
Right. I think we're in such a state of fear and let's get through this as quick as possible and get it behind us. I think sometimes we don't listen to our gut, which I didn't get a second opinion either because I just wanted it behind me just like you. So I understand that. After the fact, for me, I had to do a lot of forgiveness for that because you hear about people that get it diagnosed and then they turn around and get a second opinion and it wasn't near what the first surgeon said.
Right.
That was definitely a lot of forgiveness for me to go, maybe I didn't have to go through all that stuff, but shoulda, coulda, there's nothing we can do about it now, just move and hopefully, encourage others to, at a minimum, get a second opinion for sure.
Yeah, I think the self-exams are so important too. I was asked to be the speaker for the year that I got the cancer for being a survivor that had done breast exam and followed up with a mammogram, which is so important,
Nice.
that done. So that was.
So where did you speak? Where did you speak?
I spoke in Innisbrook with the 500 women, and I was scared to death, and I was going through my reconstruction, and I had a big, large lump right here where they expanded the tissue and to prepare for the implant. So,
tell me a little bit about the expanders.
Oh, the expanders, that's a trip. They fill up the bag, which is the implant. They fill it up with a solution, saline solution, and they do it like once a week for 6 to 7 weeks till the tissue has expanded enough to fit an implant in. And when it's done, boy, does it hurt. Ooh.
When it's done or while you're going through
while you're going through it, each time they do it, after they do it, your whole arm aches for a day or two, and then you finally,
it's like a pressure?
Yeah, big pressure, like it's hitting a nerve or something.
Ouch. So you were having your expanders filled, and so you went and spoke in front of 500 women.
Yes.
And you're alive, so you didn't die.
Yeah. 18 years later, here I am.
Sharing your story again, which is amazing because I know, it's the number one fear is public speaking. So definitely kudos to you for standing up in front of that many, women.
I had a good friend that was there standing next to me that said, "Oh, I'll help you through this." So Debbie McCreary was right there.
She's
so that
amazing.
was kind of, yeah. But awesome. Along with my journey, I do have to say that I was, they did, oh gosh, I can't even think of what they found that I did not have to have chemo or radiation.
Nice.
So I was 95% cured, and they said, well, you'll have to stay on this tamoxifen for for 5 years, I think it was, just to make sure to protect you. And I read up on the drug, and I finally did speak up to my oncologist about, no, I was not going to take it. And he was good about it. He didn't, give me any grief about it and just let me go on and do my thing. I guess he felt like I was far enough along that, I don't know what stage it was. I would imagine it was maybe just a stage 1 since we caught it so quick, So I think that might have helped a lot with not having to go through the chemo or radiation. I don't know. It's all like a blur. It's something that you just want to put behind you and you don't want to deal with.
Right. As quickly as possible.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm with you. And sometimes I think we just need to stop and take a breath and go, my life isn't over in a week. For me, they rushed me, like, oh, you have to be in surgery in 2 weeks. And I was like, no, for me, I'm moving. I can't do that. And I think we just get into that, oh my gosh, I'm having surgery. I got to get everything done that I can get done and, not For me, it was just more of getting my house set up before, you know what I mean? I'm down for 6 weeks, which was crazy, and not really asking the questions. And then as you're just kind of going through it, you're just like, are we done yet? You know what I mean?
Right.
Can I get back, to the life as I knew it? So after your surgery, and then you had reconstruction, and they took your nipple off when they did the mastectomy, and then they did reconstruction for that as well?
Yes.
Okay.
They actually built me a new nipple.
That's cool, I guess.
Well, they said a lot of women that their skin tissue won't accept it and it just kind of falls off.
Oh.
But mine stayed on and it was tattooed and it looks pretty good. Not bad for, reconstruction, I guess.
Nice.
Again, it helped that I was with the top reconstructive surgeon and working for him at the time.
Nice.
So I think I had a lot of support from everybody in the office, and I was used to seeing what it looked like to have your breast removed, and to have all these suture lines going all the way across, and I had already seen that, so I knew what to expect.
Oh, so you had already seen women go through mastectomies and reconstruction and.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was used to that because that's what I did all day long. As I was part of the team of nurses that worked with, did the rounds with the doctor, and so yeah, I knew what to expect. I knew it was going to hurt, but I stayed working and stayed busy, and that's one of the things that they want you to do is just, stay busy.
Stay busy. So you're
Don't think about it.
Right.
Don't reflect on it.
Yeah, I got to get out of there for sure. So are you still working for the surgeon?
No, I'm not. I'm in real estate now. Work for Keller Williams Realty in St. Pete and love what I do. I think the medical profession, that I left not long after that. I was ready to move on, and had a few years.
What made you want to get out of the medical profession? Just everything you had seen, or you just kind of felt it in your gut that you?
I just kind of felt in my gut it was time to do something else,
And then, so how long have you been in real estate?
I've been in real estate for going on 14 years now.
Has it been that long?
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
I took a little break in between, to think about what I was going to do and where I was going to go from there. And that's where the real estate came in, and I'm happy that I did it. Haven't looked back, haven't regretted that decision at all.
Nice. Nice. So you're a realtor in Florida. So I'm assuming you can sell a house anywhere in Florida.
Yes.
So if somebody needs a good, awesome, motivated realtor, where do they go?
They can call me, or they can go to my website, and they can go to my jillsmith.realtor@gmail.com.
jillsmith.realtor@gmail.com.
They can read it there.
Do you have a website?
I have my website, lovetoliveinflorida.com.
Mm-hmm. Lovetoliveinflorida.com. Did y'all get that?
Yes.
That's a pretty cool website. Just saying. So what's your phone number? How can they call you?
727-455-5850. And I'd love to talk to anybody about cancer. I'm well read on it since I've had so many family members with it and being a survivor myself. So, I can do two things at once.
Right. So I know for me, when I meet a breast cancer survivor, it's almost like a free ticket, like they're in just because, like they get the extra special treatment, they get first in line, they get, whatever it is. So I'm definitely sticking with that because not everybody has the support that we had. Some their spouses leave or significant others leave, or, they're by themselves. And, I feel that, we need to help in that. because I personally couldn't imagine. It was tough enough. And
Yeah.
not to have, people around you, which, I didn't get out there. I was just going through the motions, and I didn't necessarily have a job to go to. And I don't recommend that, because I got, started telling those stories in my head. And before I knew it, I was stuck on the couch, which of course I didn't feel good from all the side effects from chemotherapy. But I think that getting out there and communicating and being around others is huge. So I'm hoping to create a community for survivors so they can feel comfortable, and
Right.
we can celebrate, the accomplishments, as little
Right.
or as big as they, as they are. So that's kind of where I'm going with this. Exactly what it looks like, I'm not sure, but you're invited.
Yay! I'm in the club.
Definitely. Well, Jill, I won't take up any more of your time. I really, really, really appreciate you sharing your story with us, and I look forward to doing other things together.
Sure. I hope it helps some of the other women out there that are going through the whole cancer thing. It's not an easy thing, but you will get through it. Everybody does, you
Yeah.
know?
Right. So if there would be one thing that you would, say to somebody that's just being diagnosed, what would you say would be like the one thing that you would tell them?
I would get other opinions.
Second opinion?
I think that's the most important thing. Even if you have to hear it, and don't rush. Don't rush through. I
Don't
mean,
rush.
it takes a
That's
long
good.
time for cancer to grow. So, extra time to do your homework and talk to others and find out, which surgeon that they would go to, what's the benefits of having reconstruction versus not,
So take a minute, take a breath,
take a deep breath.
and see what your options are, because I believe that there are other options out there, that it doesn't have to be surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation. Like, that's just in Western medicine. And,
Right.
we're just so over medicated. And it causes so many more issues down the road, I have found. And, I'm not saying that chemotherapy and all that doesn't work, but I think that you should definitely get a second opinion and maybe look at alternative, options.
Sure.
And don't let the doctors bully you into the decision,
Yes.
because they did that to me. And you're scared. You don't know what to believe.
That's right.
So good for you for saying no to tamoxifen, which I said no to tamoxifen too. It was just the side effects were awful, and I had done some work, and the medical industry, there's a lot out there. Every industry has their secrets, and sometimes it's just, you got to uncover sometimes the secrets of what's really the truth. What is my truth, I guess? What is my truth? What do I want? And if I had to do it all over again, I definitely would have got a second opinion. I would have taken a breath, and I'm not 100% sure I would have done chemotherapy. I think I might have done more of a natural route and made, better lifestyle choices and that.
Mm-hmm. Well, everybody's going to make their own choices. So, whatever that is.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah, for sure. All right. I think do you have any last?
No, I think that's about it.